And that's all I know. Is when I woke up, when I went to sleep, she was there. And then when I woke up,
The rear door of the residence was found to be open.
The search for the 5-year-old lasted for months.
In the air, helicopters from different agencies scoured the area.
Her disappearance has left this community, her family, in despair.
But the little girl was never found.
And how do you get somebody to be so evil as to not tell you where a child is?
A 5-year-old girl disappeared overnight from a locked home with no sign of forced entry. Her babysitter gave conflicting stories, and her father vowed to find her at any cost. 16 years later, Holly Cummings remains missing, and the truth is still buried in silence. This painful but vital story, I need to ask for your help. Every like, every subscription, every share of this video is a chance for another child to stay alive. Share the story everywhere you can and leave your city and viewing time in the comments. It's important for me to know where people are ready to protect children. This story will change how you think about justice, secrets hidden for 16 years, and why sometimes silence becomes the loudest admission of guilt. This is the story of a little girl who should have been a symbol of hope, but instead became a victim of circumstances. The story begins in 2001 in Florida. 23-year-old Ronald Cummings met 14-year-old Crystal Sheffield, an adult man starting a relationship with a teenage girl, the first warning sign in a chain leading to disaster. Crystal dropped out of school and moved in with Ronald. A child who needed protection ended up in the hands of a man who saw her not as a daughter but a partner. This unhealthy dynamic laid the foundation for what happened next. In 2003, 16-year-old Crystal gave birth to a daughter diagnosed with Turner syndrome, a rare genetic condition predicted to cause serious physical deformities and likely death at birth. But Holly Ann Marie Cummings defied medical predictions. Born healthier than expected and called the family's miracle child. A year and a half later, Crystal had a son, Ronald Jr. However, motherhood proved overwhelming for Crystal. And during this time, drugs entered the family's life. Both Ronald and Crystal used illegal substances. Crystal even during pregnancy, harming the children further. Despite this, Holly grew into an amazing child with restless energy and charm, lovingly called Hallibug and Granny's Love. She adored gospel music, which she called God music, and every visit to Grandma's started with a ritual, asking to listen to her God music. By 2005, the family situation became critical. Crystal missed vital medical appointments for Holly, whose Turner syndrome required regular care. Child Services intervened and removed the children, awarding full custody to Ronald, a crane operator who ensured medical checkups for Holly. At first, everything seemed stable: a loving father, stable home, and necessary medical care. But the system made a fatal mistake by ignoring Ronald's disturbing pattern of relationships with underage girls. For 3 years, Holly lived a relatively stable life, attending kindergarten and befriending Alyssa Hall. In August 2008, at the bus stop where Ronald dropped Holly off, he met 17-year-old Misty Crosslin. Misty was a troubled teen with emotional trauma and little education. Ronald saw her as a perfect victim and moved her into his home, entrusting her to babysit Holly and Ronald Jr. Misty frequently disappeared for days on drug binges, causing Ronald to rage but always take her back. Ronald's family, concerned, frequently checked in on the children due to Misty's unreliability. In February 2009, Misty disappeared again, forcing Ronald to call his grandmother to watch the children. Despite this, Misty returned with apologies. On February 9th, Ronald went to work, locked the back door, and asked his mother to check on the children. At 6 p.m., Grandma visited and found everything normal. That night, around midnight, Misty, Holly, and Ronald Jr. slept in one room on mattresses on the floor. Misty's statements about the night changed multiple times, including inconsistent bedtimes and who slept where. At 3 a.m., Misty woke needing the bathroom but took a strange route to use a guest bathroom on the opposite side of the house. She noticed the kitchen light was on and the back door wide open, propped by a cinder block from inside. Instead of calling police immediately, Misty checked the bedroom and found Ronald Jr. sleeping but Holly missing. She claimed to search the house for 27 minutes before calling Ronald at work, not police. Ronald rushed home, confirmed Holly's disappearance, and ordered Misty to call emergency services. A 911 call was made more than half an hour after the door was discovered open. Ronald's 911 call was full of raw emotion, desperate to find his daughter, while Misty responded coldly and inaccurately about Holly's appearance and clothing. Investigators found no forced entry. The door lock was intact, the cinder block was from inside the house, and the laundry undisturbed, suggesting no hurried exit. Misty's claim that Holly wore a pink Hannah Montana t-shirt was disproved when the shirt was found in the laundry. Misty gave conflicting statements and failed multiple polygraph tests, showing deception about what happened to Holly. Despite police scrutiny, Misty and Ronald married 1 month after Holly's disappearance in a private ceremony after a church refused their marriage. This marriage was widely seen as an attempt to protect Misty legally from testifying against Ronald. As the investigation progressed, Misty's stories became more elaborate and less credible, even accusing relatives without evidence. The marriage ended within 6 months amid mutual accusations and public media fights. Misty, Ronald, and relatives were later arrested in a drug operation. Misty received a 25-year prison sentence for selling prescription drugs, widely believed to be a harsh punishment aimed at forcing her to reveal the truth about Holly. In 2025, Holly would be 22 years old, but she remains missing. Misty remains imprisoned until 2031, while Ronald was released in 2022 but soon rearrested. Holly's story exposes societal inequalities. Children from poor, troubled families often go unnoticed while others receive significant media attention and resources. Holly's case quickly faded from public focus, becoming a cold case with many known facts but no truth. Misty keeps silent even at the cost of decades in prison, protecting a secret so dark it consumes her life. Perhaps the truth is hidden in Florida's swamps, or at the bottom of the St. Johns River, or maybe it lies close but unseen. Holly's story reminds us of childhood's fragility and adult cruelty, and the failures of systems meant to protect children. It shows that some secrets are so heavy, some people carry them for a lifetime. As long as those who remember Holly, her big brown eyes, her love of God music, her nickname Granny's Love, are alive, her voice will not be silenced. Her story remains unfinished and will continue until justice is served and the truth finally emerges. If you found this story important, please like, share, and subscribe to help protect more children. It's important for me to know where people are ready to protect children.